Shalom. This is our second week of the counting of the Omer, in fulfillment of God's command in Leviticus 23 to count for ourselves 49 days, making 7 complete weeks between Passover and Shavuot, time of the giving of the Torah. We learned that on the first night of Passover, the night of the Exodus from Egypt, Hashem provided the Israelites with a great illumination from above. This is called divine shefa, meaning an emanation given in great profusion. And though undeserved, it was provided by God of his own initiative. Such illumination is thus known as a product of divine arousal, like a gift that's given despite the unworthiness of the recipient. And as it was then, we too receive this special divine light each year at this time. But as it was then, on account of our immature spiritual state amounting to a lack of preparedness, we're unable to hold on to this level. And so the main goal of these days of counting of the Omer is to wake up our vessels, so to speak, to create an arousal within ourselves, to work towards becoming deserving, to receive and hold on to this light by working on Tikkun hamidot, literally fixing our attributes. So these 7 weeks of Tikkun hamidot correspond to the 7 Sefirot, levels of divine emanation, essentially channels through which God's blessing flows through this world. The word Sefirat is from the word for sapphire, because each new level reveals a new shining light. Each week is made up of 7 days, and each level itself, each day of each week, is comprised of 7 levels. Aspects of all the Sefirot are contained within each. What all of this means to us is that there is a godly attribute associated with each day during this period. We need to learn how to succeed in connecting with it so that we ourselves can manifest these qualities in our own lives and thus emulate the Creator. That's the goal, to really feel Hashem in our lives, to effect a tikkun for our nefesh, for our very life, to elevate our lives so that we will be truly worthy of receiving Torah anew on Shavuot. Bottom line for each of us, this inner Omer work is all about deepening our connection to the Creator, making it true and lasting on a very personal level. But this is not so simple, because the more we delve into these teachings and examine them and begin to sincerely sort through our own stuff, our issues, the more we begin to see how disconnected we really are, how far we really are from incorporating these godly qualities into our lives. But open up your heart in the deepest way. That very understanding itself, when we begin to confront ourselves and recognize how far we are from our goal, that itself creates in us a strong desire for Hashem. We feel a true lacking, a yearning for what we are missing, to reach closeness to Hashem. And that becomes a type of prayer, a tangible prayer that rises up from our soul. It's the awakening to and recognition of our own deficiencies that creates true prayer. And just as our forefathers in Egypt cried out and their prayers rose up to Hashem and he redeemed them, so too our experience over these days of the Omer creates this deep yearning. Our very recognition of what we are lacking drives our desire for Hashem and strengthens our desire for holiness. So in the first week, we were focused on the aspect of the Creator's chesed, his loving kindness. We were focused on striving to emulate it, how to resonate with love in our lives like the Creator. This week, we have moved on to the next level of Gevurah. But we're not ending our work on chesed. It stays with us. It's eternal. Everything we do in this world makes an eternal impression on us and on the whole world, and it builds an infrastructure for the future as well. So this second week of Gevurah is comprised of 7 levels, levels within levels, that need to be rectified in our lives. How do we understand this? Gevurah means strength, discipline. Hashem's Gevurah conveys an aspect of din, of judgment, and a certain severity as well. He's the master of the world, and he runs it with his Gevurah strength. But we may ask, wait, what was wrong with chesed? Why can't Hashem run the world through loving kindness alone? Remember Dionne Warwick? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. So why do we need Gevurah? What does this aspect of strength, why does it have to be in the mix? What does it add? So Hashem runs the world with goodness, and everything he does is only good, including his judgment. And his judgment is an aspect of Gevurah. So open up your heart in the very deepest way. Our sages taught, in the beginning, God considered creating the world using only the attribute of justice, but he saw that the world could not exist, and therefore he joined the attribute of justice with the attribute of mercy. So Hashem joins together these two opposing forces, chesed and gevurah, loving kindness and strength, and he governs the world in their harmony. Gevurah is essential because chesed, kindness without gevurah, meaning unchecked chesed, kindness with no boundaries, can be destructive. To give is wonderful, but when kindness is dispensed with no restraint, the results can be disastrous and even cause damage to the recipient. Gevurah is the boundary, creating a framework for the chesed. Gevurah helps create a vessel for the light of chesed to be received and contained, as follows. The 7 days of creation correspond to the 7 Sefirot. The first day of creation is the Sefirah of chesed. What was the first day of creation like? The whole world was water. Water is chesed. Life can't exist without it. Yet neither can a world inundated by water sustain life. So on the second day of creation, Hashem manifested the attribute of Gevurah. And God said, let there be a firmament within the water, and it shall separate between water and water. Separation is Gevurah. Gevurah sets the proper boundaries so that chesed will be viable. This separation determined where there'll be more water, where there'll be less water. And Hashem separated where there'll be ocean and where there will be dry land. And in so doing, that Gevurah made room for our lives on this earth. And this is all the restraint of Gevurah, which transformed the endless water of chesed into something user-friendly. So Gevurah helps to hold the shefa of chesed. It's like if rain would never stop falling, it would drown us. But it's the rain falling in proper measure and proportion, an aspect of Gevurah, that makes rains of blessing. So blessing, and indeed all of existence, is not a manifestation of chesed alone, but of the perfect blend of chesed and Gevurah. So we see that the attribute of Gevurah is the capacity which restrains and tempers kindness, the power to hold back. Restraint takes strength, as our sages taught. Who is mighty? One who subdues his own evil inclination, Pirkei Avot. We're not trying to fix the next person here. Our goal is to try and fix ourselves. And all of the tikkunim, the acts of rectification that we have the ability to make during these days of the Omer, they're all within us. So this week, we concentrate on learning how to activate the Gevurah within ourselves in order to better emulate Hashem. We're talking about subduing our own Yetzer Hara. When we're seduced by our own evil inclination and fall prey to its illusions, we're going out of our borders, we're scattering. We want to learn how to set borders for ourselves and stay within them, to be gathered like the waters and not scattered. If our Gevurah is not used for holiness, it can be a negative force. For example, we could use it to subjugate others. But the same aspect of Gevurah can be used, for example, to overcome our own anger. How we use the attribute of Gevurah also demonstrates our capacity to separate ourselves from things that are not in line with Hashem's will and that dishonor Him. And in such cases, personal Gevurah is the strength to just say no. We can use our personal Gevurah to combat negative influences within ourselves. Just as chesed is the manifestation of true love of God, Gevurah is the manifestation of true fear of God. And these two need to be in complete harmony. And the proper application of Gevurah demonstrates our capacity to stand strong in difficult situations. And through Gevurah, translated in our behavior as proper self-restraint, we reveal and exemplify proper awe of Hashem in this world.